The following segment is sponsored by Zelle. If you've ever spotted a red flag on social media or a dating app, you know the swipe left instinct. Well, this Valentine's Day, scammers are hoping you ignore it. Joining us today to protect your heart and your wallet is Adam. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Valentine's Day is the peak season for romance scams. What are you seeing and what should people keep in mind as they swipe, as they scroll, and as they message?
Yeah, and romance scams are present year-round. Scammers and fraudsters are out there trying to prey on the vulnerable. It could be elderly, it could be divorcees, really anyone who's lonely. As you get near Valentine's Day, that loneliness may be more acute. Scammers know that. So there's an increased rate of the scammers reaching out to you via text message, via email, via cell phone, via landline, on social media platforms. The first enormous red flag here is that if you get an unsolicited contact from someone who's promising you companionship, friendship, or perhaps a romantic interest, you really need to pause. You need to verify the identity of this person. You need to share what's going on with a friend, and you need to be wary that this could be a potential scam or fraud.
That's very good to know. And why do scammers look to push the conversation into DMs or text messages?
Yeah, so scammers will reach out to you on the phone, DMs, social media platforms, and then they want to leverage two tactics in order to continue the scam. So the first tactic is that they want to isolate you. They want to confuse you. So they'll ask you to go off the social media platform so that they can set up a more intimate, two-way conversation where they can ingratiate themselves and build up a rapport. Once they've built up this phony relationship with you, they'll then use a sense of urgency tool where they will then say that there's an urgent need for funds. There's a car crash, someone's stuck in a foreign country, there's a medical emergency. What we like to say is that friendship, romance, companionship shouldn't come with a fee. It shouldn't come with a price. When you combine that with someone who's reached out to you that you weren't expecting, these are major red flags and you need to pause before continuing.
Okay, good to know. And how should people use digital payments safely and as intended?
Digital payments are an enormous secular wave. So for the past 2 years, Zelle has done over $1 trillion in volume. And in December alone of last year, there's 100 million unique bank accounts that either sent or received funds with Zelle. Over 99% of those transactions are successful without any reports of fraud or scam. So the service is being used and enjoyed by a broad swath of Americans. Zelle then has safeguards in place to try to prevent and interdict scams and frauds. We leverage billions of signals in order to stop scam and frauds. And then the banks in parallel who are part of our network, they also have data signals in their own models to try to interdict and stop the fraud. That all being said, if you do receive an email or phone call, if you do happen to proceed with the fraud and go onto the Zelle platform, you should exercise two big areas of caution or protocol. The first is that if you're sending funds to an individual, to a friend or family member, you need to ensure you know them. You need to ensure you trust them.
Yes.
You need to ensure that you know where the funds are going. Second, Zelle has an enormous small business franchise. We have 8 million small businesses, the butcher, the gardener, the landscape architect, the contractor.
Yes.
If you're sending funds for a good or service, make sure you've received those goods or services ahead of time before sending the Zelle transaction.
Absolutely.